Okay, so a little bit of further tweaking on some of these hills on this Oz map. Let's go ahead and maybe zoom in on some of these larger, lighter hills. And another thing that I can do is maybe keep and maintain the hills. But let's go ahead and actually uh, do a color select. Let's make sure I've got everything selected. All right. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just take that up a touch. And my base color, let's flip those around. Exchange the foreground and background for the moment. I will go ahead and select color, background color from the area to lighten that up. I will go ahead and re-exchange the foreground and background color so that this is my highlight color, this is my background color. So I've got kind of this large hill that I want to make smaller, but I want maybe some variation and fluctuations and undulations happening there. So I'll go ahead and do what I've done in the previous video, and I'll just go ahead and maybe make some smaller circles using the ellipse tool. I will go ahead and use my gradient tool. In this case, I've got foreground to transparent, and I'll just go ahead and put a couple of circles in, kind of within the existing area of where these larger or slightly larger hills already exist, so that we get a little bit more randomness of sorts, what have you. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll do one here. Maybe I'll do one within the one. So a circle within a circle. Go ahead and put that in there. Let's do select all. Kind of see how that looks. A little too uniform, a little too whatever. So I'll add a little bit more and just kind of see where we get with this. Maybe we'll do one over here. Oops. Oh, that made a mistake there, didn't I? Let's go ahead and redo that. And we'll put one there. Okay. So something like that. I'll do something similar down here. But then maybe the other thing I can do is just for the heck of it, I think I'll do a free select. Maybe we'll copy and paste a little bit of this. I'll do a control copy. I'll do a control V. And we'll move this down. Make sure that I've got the move tool selected. And I'll just go ahead and move this down. And maybe I'll put something like this here. Go ahead and hit enter. Instead of anchoring her right away, I can do a control copy and a control C and a control V. And go ahead and move the new version of that over here. Of course, they match perfectly, which I don't necessarily want. So maybe I'll do a rotation again. So I'll do a tool, transform tool, and I'll rotate. And just go ahead and grab this and maybe flip it. Something like that. And then if I have everything selected, oh, I got to anchor this. So we'll go ahead and we'll anchor that layer. And now, of course, I've got these very clear, distinct edges, so we need to do a little bit with that. So we'll go ahead and I think I'm going to do a larger smudge. And I'm going to set the force and hardness pretty low. And maybe we'll just kind of work around the perimeters of things to soften the general edge of these hills that I sort of pasted in. And I might do that a few times. Maybe I'll adjust the force that I'm applying a little bit. But just get it so that those hard edges aren't quite as obvious. Once I've done that, less necessary up here, so I'll probably just leave it something like that. Maybe what I do now is go ahead and use the clone tool, and we'll just go ahead and push Control and click it there. I'll leave it larger, and I think down here I will go ahead and mimic these hills. Now, of course, it's an exact copy, so, but if I do it again, it starts to get a little bit of a variation. Maybe I even do something like this so that we get less of an obvious break between those forms. And then maybe on top of that, I will go ahead and do what I started with and create a few circles again. Just to get some variation in what's happening there. Go ahead and put in a gradient there. And maybe I'll just do that a few more times in a few more spots. And I'll just kind of keep working this process down through these different areas where I have hills, and just kind of continue so that there's enough variation in the pattern that as time goes on, it becomes less obvious that I'm basically just doing glorified copies and pastes. So let's just kind of zoom out. Zoom out. Let's hold down the control button and minimize things a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I'll just do this again or do something similar again, and we'll see where that gets us.